Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Fantasy Island. How are you loving this whole self-quarantine thing, crazy pandemic? I just posted an article this morning about how childhood sex abuse is going up, domestic violence is going up, because when you're at home with your perpetrators and there's no place to go and there's nothing you can do, then the violence goes up. So I've been interested in the masterclass lately, the app masterclass. And I've been watching someone who is a hostage negotiator, and I just love it. His name is Chris Voss. And Chris Voss has been doing hostage negotiation for a long time. And I've always been interested in that because when you're trapped in a house with an abuser of some sort, emotional, physical, sexual, if you're a child, if you're an adult, you feel like you're held hostage. You feel like you're trapped and you're helpless. And this is it's just the natural side effect. And so right now there's a lot of women and children who are feeling very helpless and trapped to their experience, to their situation. And because of that, it's good to, let's say, bone up on some of your hostage negotiation tactics to deal with the fact that you're trapped. Because right now there isn't a lot you can do. You're just trying to maintain the status quo. So my name's Rita Hickman. I'm a body mind expert and shiatsu massage therapist, and I help women who are trapped in narcissistic or toxic relationships learn how to stand up for themselves and how to get healthy and create a life that they really love. So today I'm going to share some of the things that Chris Voss has been sharing in his masterclass. And for my group out there, I think we're going to do a watch party on this so that you can kind of get into these tools a little bit better. So I've studied the body mind for a long time. And the tools that Chris Voss brings to the table are tools that I'd seen and heard and tried and used in the past and have been effective for me. The big difference is when you are feeling victimized, when you're feeling trapped by something, then all thoughts of logic and rationality and all of that just go out the window. You don't know what to do. You'll try anything. You'll try anything that you've heard, and you're scared to try other things because you're like, what if this doesn't turn out? So I'm just going to stick with the thing that, I've always done, that's always worked, whatever that may be for you. Hiding, lying, fighting, crying, going numb, whatever that trauma looks like for you, you'll go back to those tools to sort of cope and manage, just like a narcissist does. But one of the biggest differences between a narcissist and you is a narcissist is even more out of control of themselves. And they gave up a really long time ago, probably when they were children, they gave up and decided that it was them against the world. Well, guess what? You're in a relationship with someone who probably sees you as the enemy, as someone who is out to get them in some way, especially when they're triggered, which is why they're after you, because you are the safe, convenient place for them to deal with this deeper fear and this deeper insecurity that they're going through. And this is exactly like dealing with someone in a hostage negotiation situation. It's someone who's feeling like they're out of their mind and they've done something drastic and there isn't much they can do about it. And they're sort of trapped in it. And they're just responding and reacting the best way that they know how. So what two of the tools that Chris has given was mirroring, which you've probably already heard of because we all have mirror cells. We all have these ways that we reflect or um, react to what's going on outside of us. It's natural. It's almost like a trigger. So we've got cells in our brain that will mirror what is going on in someone else. So you are aware of what's going on inside of the narcissist, which is why it makes you feel so crazy when you're in a fight, because you're not only aware of your own fears and anxieties, you're also hyper aware of the fears and anxieties of the person who is gaslighting you or manipulating you or screaming at you or emotionally abusing you. You're feeling that too. In fact, that's one of the biggest challenges and problems with children being in domestic violence sort of situations or emotional violence sort of situations. One of the biggest problems is that they have no control, they have no tools, they have no way out, um, and so it's a complete reactionary sort of thing, because we're feeling all of the feelings of the abuser. We're feeling all of their rage and their hurt and their insecurity and their pain. And we are helpless to it and we are overwhelmed to it, and it imprints on us. So many times when a narcissist gets angry, it will trigger those deeper feelings inside of us. Um, Once you're able to start to get a handle on it, either through good therapy or good body work or good connections or your own personal healing, once you're able to start doing that, then you're able to be more present to guide the relationship in a better direction. Right now, most women just get to the point where they're like, I'm done. I'm either going numb or I'm walking away. I'm getting rid of this, but something drastic needs to happen. And in reality, there are many tools and ways that you can get out of those situations without turning it into a dramatic, painful spiraling down of emotional and verbal abuse of two people, or being victimized again and again by a narcissist because they have no control over their own reactionary response to their own feelings and insecurities that are going inside of them. So two tools. One was mirroring, and two is something called labeling. So when you mirror somebody, you basically just repeat in some way the last three words that they were saying. So if they're saying, you never listened to me, the response would be, um, I never listened to you. And there's this compulsion of the narcissist, of anybody, this compulsion to keep explaining. When you ask a question in a sincere, curious way, when you're not reacting, when you're not triggered, when you're able to sincerely ask, I never listened to you, then they go deeper into it. Maybe they say, no, you never listened to me. I've been telling you this over and over and over, and you just don't change. And you say to them, so I just don't change? And they say, no, you've never changed. You've never changed in a million years. You've done this to me my entire life. I can't believe you're still here. I can't believe I'm putting up with this. You can't believe you're putting up with this? No, I have no idea why I put up with this, because clearly it's all your fault. Why would I stay with someone who is so useless and has nothing of value to offer me? Why would I do that? Why would you do that? I don't know why I do that. I don't even know why you're asking me that question. Do you see how it starts to, you're able to start gathering information. You're able to start, if you can stay present, you're able to start gathering information about what's going on inside of their head. Now here's tip number 2, the labeling part. So when we label something, when an emotion is labeled, it diminishes the activity in the amygdala. So they've done lots of tests where they would put people in MRIs and hook up the electrodes, and then they would show them things which would disturb them. And every single time when what was disturbing them was labeled, I'm afraid, I'm hurt, I'm insecure around this situation, I feel helpless to what's going on. As soon as they were able to label an emotional reaction that they were having, it diminished, the activity diminished. Someone felt better. So part of your job, if you can, is to collect information in this conversation and then help them label or label for them what's going on so that their anxiety and their tension can go down. So they'll be less threatening. So they'll be more rational. So maybe they'll flip back out of their amygdala and back into the rational mind. So after, let's say that conversation I just had, you mean you don't know why you're with me? Um, A labeling would be, it sounds like you're frustrated and helpless, and there isn't anything you can do about this right now. Now, you don't have to be accurate. You don't have to be right with what your labeling is, because what it does is it sends the little searchlight in the narcissist brain to look for what's being caused, what's, what is going on, what is the label. And your genuine curiosity helps them label it. No, no, I don't feel helpless. I feel strong. I feel this is all your fault. Okay, you feel it's my fault that you're feeling upset right now. Yes, it is all your fault. I don't know why you do this. Um, when you're able to help them start labeling how they feel, the emotional trigger starts to go down. They become more capable of dealing with things. And the conversation will be able to unfold better. It'll be able to, you'll be able to get out of there alive, let's say. You'll be able to get out of there without as much drama or without your fear. Now, what hijacks most women is that their own past, their own emotional past gets in the way of them doing this. So it's important for the first little while when you're starting to do your healing work, that when you trigger, you deal with those emotions someplace else, with a therapist, by journaling, through art, with a good friend that understands, with coaching, with body work, that you deal with these emotions in another way, because they blind you to being able to be present. You're in your amygdala and it's just going to get ugly. One of the best tools is to pause. If you can pause and give yourself time to re-level, then you can come back. But what gets in the way are our own wounds and our own pain. And if we can go and deal with those, and for us start to clean those things up, then we can come back and not be traumatized and victimized by the narcissist, because this is what they do. They feed off of our fear. They feed off of our energy. One of the biggest misconceptions, I think, around narcissism is that people believe or are told that the narcissist is an evil person who's empty inside, who has a hole in their heart, um, who is bad and wrong and evil, and they're doing this on purpose in order to get at you and in order to mess you up. Let's wait a second. People feel very out of control of how they feel. And no, narcissists should not be behaving that way, which is why we are intervening. They shouldn't be behaving like this. But they do. That's the reality. That's the reality. And so we're surrounded by people at varying levels of narcissism because they are stressed out right now. And they're going to be behaving in crazy ways. And no, they shouldn't, but yes, they will. And when you develop some of these tools, when you deal with your own pain and your own struggles, and you are able to be present to the people that you've agreed to be present for, doesn't have to be, you get to put up boundaries around anybody. You don't have to be there for anybody, but there are people that you've chosen to be there for whatever reason. If you're going to be in relationship with them, you have to start dealing with your own emotions and then learning how to help them dial down, because any other way is just going to make the situation worse. It's just going to create drama, and narcissists have a different value system than you do. So they will almost always be meaner or more unkind or more hurtful than you could ever dream of being. That's just the way that it is. So you're not going to win. You'll never win. But what you can do is get out of there alive. Get out of there with the least amount of drama and trauma possible. Maybe save your kids from some of it and teach them these tools too, so they never have to feel afraid. They never have to feel helpless and alone and trapped in a situation where, like now, where they're trapped with someone with mental health issues. We have to learn how to deal with these things, because if we don't, we're going to stay afraid your entire life. And we don't want that at all. We need everybody to be in the best place that they can be in. So if you feel trapped, if you feel stuck, if there's nothing you can do, reach out, because there are things that you can do. We can help you start to heal. I do one-on-one coaching. We have a beautiful support group. I've got a whole library of live streams that you can search and find and read. You can do this, okay? This is a tough time for everybody, but you can do this. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. If you need help, you can email me, rhickman@inspiremassage.com, You can message me through Facebook. Always give me about 24 to 48 hours and pass these videos on to women who need help, to women who you suspect are trapped in these relationships, or you suspect are having some emotional abuse but not saying it. Or maybe they were your sibling or someone else in your family. Pass these videos on to them so that they can start changing how they think and changing how they engage, and they can save themselves. Okay? I hope you have a great rest of your day. Good luck. It's a beautiful day out, and I look forward to talking to you later.